Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So, I want to summarize a topic that I just recently shared, and it has to do with women getting older and having hard time finding the man that they are looking for. And I think I have done at least two videos about this topic and trying to explain why is that the case. And one of the video was talking about how women would ignore all the good men, all in the name because they have been told that they have endless options, but wasted so much time and find themselves in a situation of not having the options at all. They are now older, they're not in the situations that they used to be in, and now it's harder for them to attract those men because what men are looking for, you don't have anymore. The other thing that I see a lot, women coming out and trying to talk about it, is that you would see a lot of women who are very educated, highly educated, very career driven. They put so much time into their work life, and now time has passed. They are mid 30, and now it's like, okay, I've done everything I was told to do, but now I'm ready to find a husband. Now I'm ready to start a family, but they're having hard times tapping into that other space of life. And overall, the reasons that I think why this is because for decades now, women have been told that age doesn't matter. You have all the time in the world. You don't need to settle. You have multiple options. You can do whatever you want. You can get whoever you want. All those type of things. But it's not true. Women have not been told what it actually takes to be in a relationship, or what it actually takes to attract that type of man that you're looking for. Because we have been so focused with ourselves and never put in time and effort to understand the opposite sex. What is it that actually the man that I'm looking for is looking for in a woman? So a lot of us women, we have an endless list in our minds. Some even have it written down of what they want in a man, from his looks to his character to him being spontaneous and fun and outgoing, and the type of money, the amount of money he needs to make. We have an endless list, but we never tend to consider what is it that these men actually want in us. So when we look at women who have bought into these ideas because they've been told from society, and they've been pushed from maybe their mothers, you need to focus on your education, you need to get a career. And primarily, this is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to say, oh, you need education, oh, you need a job, oh, you need to get a career. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It only gets harder when that was your only focus. And I see this within the Black community, that our parents would push us to believe only education is the most important. And you take that in, you do the work, but over time you start thinking, okay, now I've done everything. I have this, I have that. I've traveled, I've, seen the world more or less, but I'm lacking in my love life. Because they never took time to not only prioritize education and job and career, they also never prioritized relationships. And this is a bit cliche now, but you would see that the Asian communities, those women are very, very productive. They are highly educated as well. Some of them run their own businesses. But somehow you would find in their community that family is still very valuable. It's even on a higher state when it comes to job and education. Or you would see that Becky, she went to uni, she has a career, she has a job, but she managed to also prioritize relationship. But some other people, they only internalize this, oh, I need to be a boss chick, I need to be a boss babe. And obviously, yes, this goes across different nations, but I see this a lot in the Black community, that women believe that they can only get a man when they are in the same position as he is. Or let's talk about women in general. Nowadays, more and more women have bought into this or are even buying into this. I have a friend who told me once that she needs to be a businesswoman first. She needs to make 6-7 figures first for her to be able to attract that man who's also making 6-7 figures, who's also a leader in his career, who's also a boss, right? And I was trying to explain to her, and yes, she's not a Black woman. This is just a great example to show you that this is women in general, that this idea has been spread. And I was trying to tell her, look, the only thing that might happen is that you are in the same rooms as these men are, because maybe you're in the same career feed or you do the same type of business. So you might find that you're in the same room as them. But that is not necessarily what's going to get you to attract that type of man when it comes to relationship, because they are not looking for a woman who's as competitive as they are. They are not looking for a woman who spends the same amount of hours in her job the same way he is. They are not looking for someone who had spent years and years in growing and building a career. No, they are looking for someone who is completely the opposite. They are looking for someone who is able to fall into her feminine role and not be as masculine as he is. So it was tough for her to understand, but I was trying to give an example, like, look at the men that we know and look at their wives. This is not to say that their wives are bimbos or they're not educated or they're not smart women. They are smart women, but they bring something completely different and add into the relationship. They are not the same as their husbands, and that's why it works. And the other thing is, when you think you want to build a business and build a career and make 6-7 figures, that's something that takes time. There are few people that they start a business and it works with the first start and that business is just going to grow and, gain millions. No, most of the time when you build a business, you might fail. You might fail the first year, you might fail the second year. It's going to take you another years, much more years for you to have a stable business and for you to grow that business, possibly international. And it takes time, effort, and it's quite drowning, because being someone who runs a business is not just privilege and beauty. It's actually it's a lot of work that comes with it, because all the responsibilities falls on your shoulder. And I was trying to tell her, if you look at men who run their own companies, what age are these men mostly? And she was like, yeah, they're like 40s, mid 40s, early 50s. I was like, yes. So you see that these men had to invest a lot of time until they reach the peak of their financial earnings. Meaning, when you want to do the same thing, you are also going to invest a lot of time until you reach that. And it's beautiful if you do it. If you're successful in what you do, that's good. But then it happens that you're not in the position of what these men want, because now you're the same age as these men. You've worked as hard as these men. You come home, all you talk about is your job, your career, what's going wrong, the stress, the drama. These men are not looking for that. Men don't want to work decades to build something and now date a woman in their age. It doesn't happen that often, because now when he has reached his financial peak, he's in his early 40s, mid 40s. Now he wants to start a family, but you're also 40. That's going to be unattractive to him, because the likelihood of you being able to give him family, the chances are very small. And these are also things that I see a lot, that we are trying to turn around facts and pretend that age doesn't matter. We need to understand that men or women are different. Yes, we have the same values as human beings. We have rights. We all deserve to be treated respectful, but we are different biologically. We have a different time clock than men. The nature and biology, you might not like it, but you cannot fight it. The older you get as a woman, the likelihood of you having hard times getting pregnant is realistic. And it happens a lot. So those are one of the things that people are trying to confuse, and women believe that and they fall into that trap, and then they reach certain age and they're like, whoa, I didn't expect this to happen. Why am I going through this? This is not fair. Yes, it's not fair, but this is exactly what happens if you don't weigh out the consequences and if you don't look at the bigger picture. So being educated, good. Having a job, good, because this is how life works nowadays. You're a functioning adult. You need to be able to kind of take care of yourself. But when it comes to relationships, that's not what most men would value, because they do know on this, and they do know this and understand that you're making money, you have a career, but we all know this. Most women think my money is my money and your money is our money. So he already knows that you're not even trying to put in your financial gain as much as he has to put his financial gain into the relationship. Today, I do hear a lot how women are like 50-50. Yeah, we need to do 50-50, all that good stuff. But think about it. How many videos do you see women complaining suddenly when they go on a date and men are like, okay, you want to do 50-50? Let's do 50-50. So you pay for your bill. And women are completely frustrated. They don't like it suddenly. So we love to talk and pretend all this 50-50 and I'm a boss chick, but realistically speaking, most of us don't even want to be responsible for the financial things that comes along with having a family or being in a relationship. Realistically speaking, a lot of us want to keep our money to ourselves. So you having a career or you working as well, that is not something that is attractive to a man. It's good that you have it, but that's not going to make him like you more as a woman, because that's not what men are attracted in. Men are attracted to feminine, friendly, fit, beautiful, fertile women. And women are attracted to successful, provider, confident, competent men. The list can go on, but I guess you guys understand where I'm coming from. The reason why I first kind of talked about the Black community is because over the last 30 to 50 years now, we have seen a change in the Black community. Traditional values have been kicked out, and women have taken over the role in being the man and the woman in the household. Family structure is not as valuable than or like it used to be. So they kind of need a backup plan, and the backup plan is most likely education. And this is not to say that this unfortunate phenomenon is not happening in other cultures as well. It is happening due to feminism. We have seen a drastic change in so many cultures, but it's happening in the Black community much more, because other cultures, they still understand and respect traditional values because they understand the positive impact that comes along with it. And to be honest, not having family structure is actually the best way to fall into poverty. So that's going to be another topic on its own, but I just wanted to kind of make that clear. This is not only in the Black community. You see this obviously also in other communities as well. But if you look at the bigger picture, you do see it much more in the Black community, that young women have internalized this idea of, oh, I need to be a boss chick. It's all about money first. I need to be I need to have a career. I don't need a man. And then suddenly when they get older and biology kicks in and you start asking yourself, okay, now I have a job and I have all those things, but they told me my career and my job and my education is going to make me feel fulfilled, but I'm not fulfilled. I have everything, I've seen everything, I've done everything, but I'm still not happy. Yes, because you're lacking family, because we are built different than men. Obviously, it's not all women who want family, it's not all men who want family. There are always going to be exceptions, but we are the gender who's more inclined with having family. We are the ones who have this in us that we want to be a wife, we want to be a mother, we want to take care of a household, we want to take care and raise our family and take care of our children. The other thing I also see is this lack of not understanding the opposite sex. Women are just so busy with themselves, and we have been told that you can do whatever you want. It's like there's this Disney fairy tale, and then there's this confusion with feminism that has been telling us you can do whatever you want, and it kind of seems like there is no consequence to it. But that is, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense, because there's always consequence to everything in life. Those consequences might be good, might be bad, or might be kind of okay to handle. But life is about choice and trade-offs. That's how it is. It's like taking a picture. You're never ever going to get the whole thing on the picture. So you might have to make a choice. Am I zooming in? Am I kind of taking out a bit? What am I focusing on the picture? I hope you guys get what I'm saying. Life is about choice and trade-offs. You're never going to get everything, especially if you never prioritize those things early on. You might lack in other areas. So I would see girls, young women on the internet or also in private life, doing things that are actually not beneficial to getting a relationship. They dress a certain way, they talk a certain way, they act a certain way. They're very promiscuous, and they've had fun in their teens and they've had fun in their early 20s, partying, doing what they want, what has been told to them. You can do whatever you want. And then when they're ready to kind of settle down or start a relationship, a real commitment, they find it hard to get a man who's going to accept them with what they have done in the past or what they're maybe even still doing. And this is again the problem of being so busy with yourself and never taking time to understand the opposite sex. Most men, nobody cares if he's wearing jogging shorts or he's a swaggy guy or he's wearing a suit. Most men would prefer their woman to be respectful with her body and dress in a respectful, responsible way. They might have fun with you, that's for sure, because you're offering it to them. But for taking you seriously for a relationship, they're not going to do it. Because what men do care about a lot is their reputation. Let's imagine a man who has worked his whole life, got his education, always put himself in best situations, find a career, built his image, and now you as the so-called fun girl, you come along and you want him to take you serious. Well, that's going to be hard because you are a representation of him, and you could be someone who's going to damage his personality, his brand, his image, and the respect that he has built, that his peers have around him. You might damage that just because you are highly promiscuous, just because you think you can do whatever you want and you can dress a certain way, show yourself half naked, posting half naked pictures all over the place. Most men will not take that serious. There are a few men who are going to do it, but are these the type of men that you want? That's the other question. So in general, I think my message is that I wish for women for those who want relationship, for those who want to get married, for those who want family, and for those who have a certain type of life and a certain type of, the type of man that they are wishing for to be in a relationship with, take your time and understand what is it that that man that I'm looking for, what is he actually looking for in a woman? And take a step away from yourself. It's not always all about you, and a relationship is about both of you. So when you have your endless list of what you want in a guy and what he has to do and what he needs to bring, why don't you sit down and ask yourself, what is it that he might actually want from me? However, guys, I hope you enjoy. See you in the next one. Bye.